What is up, guys? Welcome to another interview. And today we have with us not only a friend, but a certified sports and fitness nutritionist who's been in the industry for 7 years. He's helped more than, I don't know, hundreds of people, and especially in corporate athletes, the regular individual who wants to gain muscle, lose weight, transformation. So, in this interview, it's all about health and fitness, your health and your fitness, so that you can battle this external factors that are happening, and do not give yourself an excuse to become fat or overweight during this period. So today we're going to have Sunny explain to us how we can take advantage of this space that we are stuck at home. How can we get fit? How can we understand diet and the biggest myths that are spreading around in the world, like this virus? It's all going to be broken in this one interview. So thank you, Sunny, for being over here.
My pleasure, Romit. It's a great pleasure to be a part of having a conversation with you, and I'm glad that we are doing an interview which is pertaining to health and fitness. I know most of your interviews has been around business, marketing. So I think this is the right time because you mentioned about people are stuck at home. So what does it take for people who actually didn't have time in their regular schedule not to pursue fitness? I think we are going to speak about this and help people understand that how can they utilize this time to take care of their health.
Absolutely. So keep speaking about, let's identify the, a few basic things, how a normal person thinks when it comes to fitness. We think about exercise, we think about diet, and, these are the two most important components of health and fitness. So why don't we first understand, diet? Like, according to you right now, what do you think are the myths that are, the misconceptions people have with respect to diet, and how they can overcome, and what is the solution for that?
See, when we talk about misconception or myth, it's endless actually. Firstly, for people who actually take up fitness, it's a very short-lived theory for anyone. So, for example, anyone who wants to take up a weight loss or any kind of transformation, they would have a short-term goal. Imagine someone going on a wedding or going for a vacation or anything for that matter. They would set up a time period, which is, I want to get transformed in the next couple of months, in the next 3 months. That's the biggest problem for someone. We need to understand and respect the fact that our body has come to a stage wherein we have not provided the right nourishment to the body for over years. It's not happened yesterday or a week before. It has happened. It has taken a lot of time. So we can't anticipate the body to respond in the next 2-3 months. And even if the body responds, you go back in a vicious circle wherein you go back from point A to point B, and then you come back to point A again. And then people have, and this is where most of us get demotivated. So when we talk about diet or training, it's actually negative term for people, and people shouldn't follow anything. Rather, I should say that people should ask themselves the first question, that can I follow this as a lifetime? If the answer is yes, then you should pursue that. And if it's a no, then obviously you are going in a direction which you shouldn't be choosing. So that's something that people shouldn't be doing. And unfortunately, when we talk about nutrition, diet, or exercise, there is no middle ground. People either offer an extreme step or they don't do it at all. So that is where the biggest flaw is. And that's the biggest myth. There are a lot of myths, like I said, when it comes to nutrition. People think that one of the way of losing weight is going on a super calorie deficit, which is obviously a universal phenomena. But the problem is body doesn't understand calorie. Body doesn't understand whether you're having an ice cream or probably a salad. Body knows calorie. But then the unfortunate part is you need to be healthy from inside to treat the body and give the kind of result it deserves. You can't have a good body if you do not have a good body from inside. You're just treating a byproduct, which is not being healthy from inside. And that's the biggest challenge. People can go on a calorie deficit, lose weight, and then, like I said, it would bounce back because they have not taken care of the health from inside. And that's what we call it as a proximate versus the ultimate cause. We are looking for a proximate cause and not for the ultimate cause. Ultimate cause is to treat body from inside, not the outward appearance. The outward appearance would be taken care if your body is good and fit from inside.
Right. No, that absolutely makes sense. So what do you exactly mean by saying keeping the body fit from inside? Can you give an example? Like, what do you exactly mean by that?
So let's take an example that someone want to lose weight. He or she has taken up a fitness regime wherein someone would go on a calorie deficit. For example, if I have been eating XYZ calorie, I'm not aware about it. But the first thing a person would do is he would cut down on his or her eating habit. So let's say that I have 4 to 5 meals a day. First thing that I would generally do is cut down on all sugar and processed stuff. I would cut down on carbohydrate.
Right.
That's the first hit that someone has on the diet. Now, what's happening here? I have reduced the amount or the portion of food that I used to have earlier. What will happen right now? You would lose weight, right? You would definitely lose weight. But body is very smart. Body works for survival. Body doesn't work for losing weight, right? And this is where we need to remember that whatever weight we have, when it's on the overweight side, body remembers that weight. So let's say that my weight is 100 kg. Body remembers the weight, which is 100 kg, to take care, which is a comfortable zone for me. Now, what have you done to yourself? You have put your body in an uncomfortable zone by not providing the kind of food that it requires. So you would definitely lose weight. But where have you gone wrong? You have not respected the fact that despite you losing the weight, are you taking care of your body composition, which is primarily your muscle mass? I might have reduced my calories, but have I taken care of sufficient macros, which is taking care of my muscle mass? May or may not be. In most of the cases, in 99% of the cases, people don't take care, or they are not even aware about their body composition. The first thing that we see is the weighing scale. If the weighing scale is going down, we are happy about it. But imagine body gets adapted to a particular thing. It's like you are watching a particular movie, you like it once, the second time you might like it, and then the desire goes down. Same is with the meal as well, the diet plan. You would see the optimum result for the first time. But imagine you have been doing this for again and again. Body adapts to a particular thing. What happens now? Because body is very smart, the first thing body would do is it would reduce your resting metabolic rate. It's the rate at which you burn calorie, because body has to work on a homeostasis condition, which is to have your internal way of functioning a body. So imagine if I'm following a diet and if everyone is losing weight at the same time, over a period of time, everyone would have been shredded, but that's not the case. This is when you actually tend to eat the kind of food that you actually used to have, because that's why I said that you need to ask yourself, can I follow the same diet for years? Now imagine you have been following a ketogenic diet or a very low carb diet. Can you have that throughout your life?
No.
You can't, right? This is where body is very smart to play its role. Now imagine you have your favorite pizza or an ice cream. You would, right? Because the biggest indulgence for us is our cravings. We would give way to our craving. One fine day you decide to have your pizza or an ice cream. This is where the problem is. You might have put your body or trained your mind for 15 days or a month not to eat all of this thing. But one day when you have this, because you have not taken care of the macros, your body would the calories that you actually accumulate, body would tend to deposit fat. So what will happen if you have those, let's say your favorite pizza or ice cream, body will accumulate it in terms of fat, thinking that what if this person doesn't give me the kind of food that I want to? So it would store the fat from where it had started. And this is where you see the general phenomena is people tend to drop weight on a weighing scale, but then it would bounce back again for most of us because of this very reason. There is a process, there is a way of understanding how your body is responding.
Right.
which is why we say scientifically, you need to understand your body composition, which most of us are not even aware about. Forget about knowing about it. We don't even know what's inside our body.
Right.
Our body is made up of bones, muscle, and fat. In terms of a layman's language, that's what our body is made up of.
Mhm.
What we know is a weight. That's it. We don't know what's our muscle mass. If you're not taking care of that, you are bound to go back from where you have started, and that's the challenge for most of us. So that's how the cases has been. When a client comes to us, that's the biggest challenge for them is they have followed, everyone in their lifetime have followed a diet plan. Either it's a GM diet or a ketogenic diet,
Yeah.
very low carb diet. See,
Right.
I'm not against all of this diet. These are good diet, but then sustainability is the question. Today, the biggest challenge for us as coaches is not about providing the best diet plan. It's about providing a plan which might not be the best plan, but it should work in such a way that a client or a person should follow in 100% way. By providing the best plan, someone would follow it by, let's say, a 20 or 30% way, but that's not yielding the result that we actually desire.
Right. No, absolutely. And I think it's every body is different. Every body is unique, like you said. And I think more than 80, 90% people will understand their metric to weight loss or weight gain by the weighing scale, right? That is the weight for them to measure. Like most people do this because of the lack of information and awareness people have, that every body is different, every body composition is different, and to understand your body composition, understand your macros, understand what nutrition you really need in order to achieve your certain goal. And I myself have been victim to so many of these diets. Like I've tried slow carb, I've done GM, I've tried keto, intermittent fasting. But the most important thing that I realize is the fact that you have to find something that is really sustainable, because if you can't sustain it, that weight is going to come back, and it's just like you rightly said. So now, with the current situation right now where everyone is quarantined, so I'm guessing that to check your body composition, you have to go to a laboratory, give a test, and then that's how you find out. But now people can't do that. So people are stuck with
Right,
the weighing scale. Okay.
right.
So what do you recommend if somebody who's watching this right now wants to get fit? Okay. How should they change their approach to diet with this current situation in mind? What is your advice for that?
Okay, so first I'll say talk about the process, what someone needs to follow, and how to measure the outcome. Two
Okay.
things. So when we talk about the process, obviously it's about your movement and your eating habit. When we talk about movement, it's your day-to-day movement, right? But then it has to be something which is intense in nature. We don't have access to gym. Now let us assume that most of us who were not able to go to the gym because of time constraint, that is why I said this is the best time for them to devote 30 to 40 minutes of their time for doing any kind of physical activity. See, you have got a body weight, right? And you need to utilize it in your advantage. You
Right.
can do number of exercises by using your body weight and without using any kind of weight. And let's assume that you don't have any weight at your home.
Yeah.
You can do push-ups, you can do squats, you can do any jumping exercises in the form of jumping jacks, mountain climber. You can use as easy as a rope. There is a skiing rope at most of the homes, so
Yes.
you can use this as well. You can do sprint, you can go for a jog, you can go for a running. But ensure one thing, that whatever physical or whatever movement that you do has to be intense in nature. Unfortunately, for most of the people who go for a walk, which I see, you can walk for hours and hours. Imagine you are doing a sprint, you would see that your heart rate is going up. You can't do it for 10 seconds. That's what we want you to do. Anything that is done under a comfortable environment, even for our productivity, does not yield result.
Right.
How would a body yield result? So you need to understand that. It's very important that you do anything which increases your heart rate up. Something that increases your heart rate would also put your body in a stage where it burns fat, and that is where burning fat starts. like I said, for most of us who do any kind of physical activity, the first thing that they say that I've been doing this, but it doesn't yield any kind of result.
Yeah.
This is the prime reason. So you can start with any kind of basic movement. Like I said, you can do squats, you can do push-ups, you can do any kind of jumping jack exercises. There are various movement that can be done these days. There are a lot of YouTube videos available which you have. You can just type for body weight exercises and you would find multiple easy exercises, even for those who have never done exercises in their life. Please understand one thing for all the viewers who are listening, that you need to start from a day one. You can't train. If you have this mindset that I can't do this, you can definitely not do this. You can start with one repetition. You can start with one, at least if you start with day one, which will yield you one rep, that is where you start with progression. Probably the next day you can do two. By the end of the week, when you start losing weight, because you are burning calorie, you will be surprised that you can do 10. And this is where motivation sinks in. It will not sink in. You will not sink in the motivation on day one. That's given. But you need to start from somewhere. So start with this basic movement. So that's from the training side of it.
Right.
Coming to nutrition, right, which is, I think, the most, and it's the most indispensable thing in your transformation. Without your right nutrition, without your right nourishment, results wouldn't be that great. In fact, results wouldn't be there. Yeah. So let's again assume that in this time period of pandemic and this COVID-19, where we are struggling to get our essential, what are the best thing that we can eat at this point of time? I am a strong believer of Indian food. I think Indian food is the best food to have. If someone thinks that Indian food is not the best food for health and fitness, they're wrong. I'll tell you how. If we had to see the Asian countries, Chinese and the Japanese, who have been super fit till date, if we have to count, unfortunately, if I'm saying China in the video, it might be a little controversial, but I'm just giving an example though. So imagine the population of this country they are fit. They do not suffer from obesity. Do you even put a thought to why these people are actually fit, despite the fact that their staple food is rice? They consume white rice. The problem is not with the white rice. So why I'm saying this is, again, coming back to our country, people again have this notion or myth that if I have to pursue fitness or health, I have to give up on white rice. That's general phenomena. But that the carbohydrate that you are consuming has not made us fat from the time we have had starting eating it, like from our childhood. Why would it make it fat now? The question is, what are you putting on your plate? If it's carbohydrate in abundance, then it is going to make fat, whether you have it from processed, unprocessed, or whatever kind of food. You need to ensure that whatever meal that you have is balanced. So let's say that your typical Indian meal, which is rice, dal, curd, ghee. See, understand, this is a very basic food. This is a very simple food. What you need to provide your body is with simple food, which doesn't provide complexity to body in terms of digestion. That's very important. The problem with Indian food is protein intake. We tend to overdo with the carbohydrate. Like I said, the problem is not with the rice. We need to uptake our consumption of protein. So again, coming back to protein intake, we don't have the availability of, let's say, chicken or eggs, again, because of the essentials that are available at this point of time. So what are the best sources that are there? Lentils is something that you can always consume. Eggs, if it's there. Curd is again something that you can consume. If you have milk, you can get cottage cheese, which is called paneer. These are good sources of protein. Imagine the kind of fiber that we consume. Fiber is again sources of your vegetable. So you can always rely on vegetable, which actually helps you burn fat. We wouldn't even realize while we consume any kind of vegetable, but these are superfood. The superfood lies in your kitchen. All your kitchen spices that you use daily, they have been used from the time of Ayurveda and has worked wonders to treat patients who have got chronic disease, right from cancer, diabetes, thyroid, all of those things. We are talking about obesity. So it's but natural that obesity is not a chronic disease. It can be something that can be reversed. But unfortunately, obesity at this point of time is not treated as lethal. But obesity is the next step to any kind of chronic disease. So all your spices that's there in your kitchen has got anti-inflammatory property, which takes care of your gut health. Like I was saying, that obesity is not a disease. It's not a disease in terms of your calorie deficit or whatever calorie that you are consuming. Obesity is more of a metabolic syndrome, or what we call as hormonal imbalance for both male and female. It's because of imbalance in your hormone. It's all leading to us right now. So let's take a very prime example, which I often say to my clients as well. We always used to have ice cream back in our school days, in our college days, right? And what was the time when we used to have it? During summers in the afternoon, right after the school was over. We used to never have ice cream at midnight. Now imagine the ice cream stores or the parlors or the dessert which we love are available to us at midnight as well. If we want our favorite dessert, we can order at midnight. It's about the accessibility. It's not about the ice cream. It's not that the ice cream is a devil or it will make us fat. It's about the lifestyle that we are into, that we have the access of so much of sugar and processed stuff that's bringing so much of lifestyle dent to our body, that it's leading to obesity. And that's the biggest challenge for us. The best thing that we can do at this point of time, like I said, physical movement and eating wholesome food. All our Indian food and groceries have got all the power not only to restore your health, but also give wonderful result when it comes to a body composition. Ensure that you have wholesome food, which is homemade, which has all nutrient property, which is in terms of your balancing your carbohydrate, your protein and fiber. And then you see the wonder. There's another thing that someone can actually do, and which people are practicing across the globe, which is called as the powerful intermittent fasting. Fasting has been something that is not new. It has not come a year or 2 years back. It has been practiced by Islams, even in our Ayurvedas, or even in our ancestors used to do a lot of fasting. Fasting is done for a reason. It actually helps you to detox your body in the right way. Detox is not done by having a smoothie or a green tea. That's again a myth that people have. Detox is done. See, your body is very smart. It can do anything by its own. If you get a cut, you don't repair the cut or the wound of your, it does the repairing process by itself. Because we are exposed to so much toxins in our body with the way of, by way of chemicals that we are putting in terms of processed food. We do not even know, because of the hazard in the environment, we don't know the kind of toxins that there are body. The best way to actually detox your body is go on a fasting mode, what we call as an intermittent fasting. And you don't have to do anything fancy. It's just a window wherein you don't eat. So imagine if you are eating in a window, the best way, what I call is as a circadian rhythm fasting, which is 12 hours of fasting and 12 hours of eating window. Now imagine if you wake up at 6 and you finish your meal by 6 p.m., which is before sunset, you are actually helping your body burn that extra fat, because whatever fat in terms of energy that will be utilized by your body will be utilized through fat, because body will not have any kind of source for energy. Hence, it will be utilizing your fat store for the energy that's working in your advantage. You can always use this window. So there are some people who do a 12 hour of fasting. There are people who do 16 or 8 hour of fasting, 16 8-hour fasting, which is 16 hour of fasting and 8 hours of eating. See, you don't have to compete with each other. What you need to on is how your body is responding. It's very
Right.
simple. The best way to gauge result is to see whether you are feeling energetic. A good weight loss would always make you feel energetic. A
Yeah.
good weight loss would make you feel that you're losing inches. A good weight loss would not stress you. It would help you sleep good,
Right.
because it's what we are talking today. And for most of us, we separate physical health with mental health.
Hmm.
They are treated differently, however is the same thing. If your physical health is good, your mental health is taken care,
Absolutely.
right? And the third thing is obviously recovery. You need a good sleep. You have done everything right, but if you don't sleep, you don't take care of the rest that we actually do, your 8 or 7 8 hour of sound sleep. When I'm talking about sleep, it's a sound sleep. It's not something that you are sleeping and with an instant buzz of your phone you get up. We are talking about sound sleep.
Mhm.
Sleep is the time when your body does all the recovery work. You don't sleep good, your body is again intoxicated.
Yeah.
And imagine, get up in the morning feeling very low in energy, you feel very dizzy. See, these are all the signs. Having a meal, feeling dizzy, these are all signs of not being healthy. A good body wouldn't give all of this outcome or byproduct. So few simple things. You don't have to do follow a fad thing. You have to stick to a simple thing,
Mhm.
and you see how you get the result. If you are having, let's say, carbohydrate throughout your day, what you can do is you can reduce carbohydrate at night, because by then our metabolic activity goes slow down. We don't move as much as we do in the entire day.
Yeah.
So probably you can start your day with a morning workout and see how you get result. Body is so dynamic that it will give result in first 6 to 7 days, and you see your weight is dropping in the first 6 7 days itself, and then make it progressive. And body, like I said, works wonder for everyone.
No, definitely. And thank you so much for sharing that, because in the process of what you just shared, you made it quite clear that, it's all about really understanding. It's all about the basics, actually. It's not getting fit is not rocket science. It's just following the
Absolutely.
simple process where, and especially since our heritage is, Indian, we come from such a rich, ancestral lineage where it's not like we need any Western influence to get fit. It's all within our, our like our way, our religion. It's all there. The food we eat, the dal, the roti, the rice, the bhaji, it's all in our diet already. But the fact that we call it a
Absolutely.
diet, it gets scary. It's like, oh, he's on a diet.
Correct.
But no, you're actually just supposed to eat the home food. Another thing is that you pointed out is to stay away from sugar and from processed food, because it will create complexities within your system and make it more difficult for your system to recover from it. And
Absolutely.
another thing that you mentioned was, doing an exercise daily. Now, depending on the people who are watching this, your age, how often you normally exercise. If you were going to the gym before, it's all about taking, like, Sunny rightly said, it's all about taking those baby steps. You need to start with 1 rep, then 2 reps. As long as you're making it progressive, then you know that you're building some momentum, and then you just have to, like, hold on to that momentum and just go with it. you know Another thing that, you said with respect to intermittent fasting, and that, because see, that this is like a worldwide phenomena, it's not something new. And being Indian, we've seen from our aunties and our mothers, they've been fasting their whole lives. So,
Correct.
it's also beneficial for us in terms of, burning fat faster. And like I said, it's about finding, because see, there are so many different fastings. There's one where, you eat one meal a day. It's called OMAD. I've heard about it.
Yes.
There's 16 by
Yes.
8. And what you shared is the first time I've ever heard 12 hour 12 hour. I've never heard that before, because it was always either 16 by 8 or the 4 hour window. So
It's very important for someone to take up fasting, like not as a competition. See, if I am telling you that I have fasted for 16, you would do the same. But is your body, is your craving is something that you can take care. You can't fast for 16 hours, but you can definitely do for 12 hours, because anyways we sleep for 7 to 8 hours, and there's a buffer when we have our breakfast. So it's making things at ease. A lot of people who wouldn't want to have breakfast and would straight away jump into lunch. So that's helpful for them doing a 16 8 of fast. It's just that how you can adapt it in your lifestyle.
Exactly. And see, another thing is that now, since a lot of people are spending all their time at home, there is a tendency to, go to the kitchen, grab something to eat, grab a packet of chips or grab a chocolate, because psychologically, when you're at home, it just happens. It's a natural tendency. It's human tendency to just
Right.
grab whatever you can. Even though you're not hungry, you might just be like
You
eating
will.
something. So how do you curb that? Like, because see, the three most important components, like you shared, are basically diet, exercise, and the third one is mindset. Having that
Right.
willpower. So can you just throw some light
Correct.
on, having a strong
So
willpower?
I'll tell you, craving is the biggest dent for all of us, and you can't conquer this. You can't conquer this as a lifetime thing. I can't conquer this. But what I can definitely conquer is when we talk about motivation. Like I mentioned, when you start any kind of activity, forget about cravings. You indulge in your craving. I've always told my clients or whosoever pursues or takes an advice from me, don't go out of track in terms of whatever you have been having. So let's say your ice cream or a pizza or your chips, don't go out of it, but definitely include good nutritious food. Include some kind of activity. What is it doing to your body? It's helping your body to heal of its own, which will help you get result. Now this is where, in terms of mindset, that person, when actually that person feel good about, oh, I have gotten up, woke up early morning with a lot of energy. Imagine for someone who has been waking up for years with low in energy, feeling lethargic, all of a sudden, after doing it, doing the activity after a week and
Yeah.
seeing the changes, imagine the kind of motivation that person has. And that is where a person would stop eating all of those junk. It does not happen overnight. The second thing that you can definitely do is obviously makeover of your kitchen. I personally do it. If
Mhm.
I have indulge into my craving, I would definitely get my favorite Oreo biscuit, but I wouldn't go overboard with having a lot of chips or wafer.
Yeah.
If you don't have the access at that point of time, you will definitely not have it. Imagine you have the access in abundance, you would indulge. That's for me as well. So why would I fill up my stock with all of my favorite food? Have you ever heard that a chicken or an egg or a spinach is my favorite dish? It has to be a pizza or a pancake or something that is delicious. It's that's how brain works. Brain doesn't work towards protein or a fiber. It's retraining your brain, and that is what helps you. It's like I said, it's until unless you don't retrain your brain, you will always indulge to your craving. So
That's
that's the second best thing that you can do. And like I said, once you start seeing result, you actually get into a lifestyle regime. I will personally uh, share my story. For the last 1 month, even I have been facing the same problem of not getting my omega-3 or my vital supplements, because I do usually weight training. I train very heavy. My protein requirement is high. I don't take whey protein because obviously at this point of time, not able to have any kind of supplement.
yeah.
But I'm surprised that my body is still responding to the Indian food that I'm having. I am amazed by seeing that how good. I have stopped all of this thing. My protein requirement has also gone down. But like I said, the Indian food has so much of power to give you the best of the result. I mean, I did not put on any kind of pounds or weight. I've been just doing basic thing. I've been doing weight training. I've been doing body weight, functional movement, and then eating right. I do indulge in once in a while, which is very important for everyone. Otherwise, if you follow it rightly, your metabolism would again slow down. You need to indulge into your craving, but like I said, for everyone, it's in moderation.
No, definitely. I think it's about firstly, understanding what your goal is, and then understanding the right path. And as long as your path is sustainable, and you can find all the ingredients in your kitchen, then it's all about really making that commitment mentally to that goal. And if your commitment to that goal is strong enough, then you will follow that path. And
Absolutely.
people usually spend most of their time, like you said, if there's a holiday coming, a vacation or a wedding, then they go and like, okay, no carbs for 1 month. But that is something that is, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you really want to live a sustainable healthy life, then the diet that you also consume has to be a balanced diet, and something that you can have for the rest of your life. and it's very important to understand that you're getting the right nutrition and you're also engaging in exercise, because if you're sitting at home, imagine sitting at home. Sitting is like is a negative word over here, because if you're constantly just sitting the whole day, you're not really going out, you're not walking, then
Correct.
you go into this your body's not getting that energy, it's not getting burned anywhere. No calories are getting
Correct.
burned. So you have to also realize that there's also an opportunity for you to be more active in the house, not just the 30-minute
Absolutely.
exercise, but to also do more work in the house.
This is actually the opportunity for everyone, each and everyone who is quarantined at this point of time, to pursue this fitness. They don't have any excuse. You can start at your home, give 30 minutes by doing any physical activity, eat right, and see what your body is capable of. You would be surprised that your body can maximize its result by healing the entire body by way of burning calorie and eating right.
No, absolutely. And you've shared some really, golden nuggets of fitness, with the audience. And I think the only thing that can come in your way is your own excuse. And at the end of the day, you will be the one looking into the mirror at the reflection of, your body, and you should be proud of what you look at. And there's only one way to go about it,
Absolutely.
is just by taking care of your health and taking care of your diet, and you're making sure you exercise. So I think we've covered a lot, Sunny. Thank you so much for sharing all this. I wanted to just before we end this, I wanted you to just throw some light on what exactly does holistic fitness mean to you.
Okay, so when we talk about holistic life, holistic fitness, like I said earlier as well, people separate physical health with mental health. Physical and mental health are the same. If you don't have the right physical health, you would be stressed. You wouldn't be taking care of your stress. See, stress is a part and parcel, especially during this quarantine when people are losing job, or probably would
Yeah.
there are a lot of people who are sacked, or there is a lot of chaos in the job, business are being affected. See, these are part and parcel for everyone. How can you mentally fight all of this thing? You need to be physically strong for all of this thing. This is part and parcel of life.
Yeah.
Another thing that I strongly believe is doing meditation. I start my day with a 15-minute or a 10-minute meditation, just to calm down my mind, understand what's happening around the environment. Meditation for most of us is like sitting in an isolated place and not thinking about anything. Let not anything come into your mind. That's not meditation. That's a wrong notion actually. You can do meditation in the most crowded place as well. You just need to sit, relax, and think that what do you want from your life. A 10-15 minutes of meditation works again wonder. You can obviously, before going off to sleep, you can just spend 5-10 minutes of meditation. If we train our body, we need to train our mind as well. That's very important. It's that is where a holistic fitness comes into picture. It's your exercise, putting the right nourishment in your body, which takes care of your health, and doing the well-being for your mind, which is through meditation. We are covering all three aspects of your life, and then yes, you are good to go and fight in this
Fight this
monstrous.
war. No, absolutely. I think it's as you said, it's a holistic process. It's about everything is connected. Your health, mentally, physically, and if you really want to get the maximum out of life, then it's the that combination of taking care of your mind and your body, that combination. Because if you just take care of, like, if you're just taking care of your mind but you're not physically taking care of your body, then you're not really going to hit that full potential. And to hit that full potential of what you are capable of as a person, the reason why you are on this planet earth, for you to fulfill and unlock the next level of your life, it's all about really pushing yourself and understanding what is the next level for you. Because if you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to keep getting what you're getting. And if you want things to be different,
Absolutely.
you've got to do something different about it. So Sunny, this has been really an honor and pleasure to have you in this interview. Before we close, I just want you to let people know how they can connect with you, and just more about that. And also, please let everyone know about your startup, which I'm really excited to hear about as well.
Glad. So for all the listeners, because I have been helping people through nutrition and training, primarily through nutrition, because I'm a certified nutrition coach. I have started with a company called Wherein, which is a company about healthy Indian meal. While I've been talking a lot about Indian meal, I have started a venture which is primarily providing Indian meal, which is made in a healthy way with the right macros. That's our concept. We have been providing meals to everyone, right from an individual to corporates. I've been doing this for good 8 months now, based out of Pune, looking to expand in other cities as well. And our primary goal for this entire starting this piece was to help people not only with consulting, wherein people come to us, understand we understand their lifestyle, give them a curated plan, and then help them with meal planning as well. That's very important. What we are providing today is an end-to-end solution. There are a lot of people who are working population. There are a lot of people who don't have a lot of time for preparing the meal. What we are doing is we are not only giving them a tasty meal, a homemade content to it, but also very important that the health is a part of the meal, which is actually helping them to get result. So that is what we have been doing. You eat good food, and what's better than taking care of your taste palette and still be fit? That's the mantra of health, actually.
Awesome. So guys, if you want to get in touch with Sunny, his information is below. If you want to check out his Rirore Instagram, so you can see such yummy, healthy meals. Who thought that, getting fit would mean not having healthy food? You can have healthy food also, and you can get fit also. And the man, to make this a reality for you, if you have any questions, please forward your questions to him directly, and he'll be more than happy to help you out. This is a time when all of us should stand united, and if we can do whatever we can in our power to help each other, then that is the mission. And getting everyone fit is extremely important, because a healthy body is a healthy mind. And in these times right now, you want to have a healthy mind, because there's so much chaos happening. Even though it's so quiet outside, the chaos is within. And to cure that chaos from within, you need to exercise not just your mind but your body. Meditation, eating right, and exercising. This is not rocket science. It's not a secret. It is your decision to make. And I hope you're inspired by this interview with Sunny. Sunny, thank you so much for doing this, buddy. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Ramit, for having me. And like I said, that I'm glad that you had me on your chat, and hope that I could help and reach out to a lot of your people and people who actually listen to this, and get some kind of help out of this entire interview.
Definitely. I think you've, really, you pushed and motivated me to go and take action. So I'm sure the people who are watching this right now are motivated as well. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube. Make sure you drop your comments below if you have any questions for me or Sunny, and I'll make sure Sunny's information is below if you want to get in touch with him. He's even willing to give you a consultation. Any questions you have, he's an amazing guy. He's here to help. He's here to provide his expertise. So just make sure you take advantage and you ask him whatever you have to. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you guys for the next interview. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Robert.